All Across Perspectives is using our perspective of concepts, ideas, and latest news events that are reshaping the world that you live in to educate and inform so that the average person can prosper in this ever-changing world.
Truth you can't handle.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances make fair use for the purposes such as criticism, news reporting, educational, informative, and more. No copyright infringement intended. This video falls under fair use guidelines. Any attempt to claim and falsely the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, better known as DMCA, is illegal and will be countered. Hello, this is All Across Perspectives, Worldly Financial News Report for the week of March 8, 2026, and I'm your host, Everett Day. These are the exciting events that we will cover today. The fraud in the American system is coming into the fold. And could there be changes in the process to eliminate this from the masses? What is shared and who is sharing it to offer this level of freedom? This question and many more will be answered on this week's edition of All Across Perspectives Worldly Financial News Report. And as always, we start off the call with some informative videos to share while others join the live call. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure as always to come together, share concepts, ideas, and get a full understanding of what the heck is going on in our world today. We use the latest news events to bring you guys up to speed, and we talk about this stuff as a group so that we as a collective can get a full understanding and be able to make appropriate moves. It's a pleasure as always, guys, for us to be able to come together. How is everybody doing? Awesome, guys. I know that it's been a couple weeks, there's been a lot going on. But as you see, there's a lot going on in the world.
Yes. Say the least. Right.
I had to pause right there. There's a lot going on in the world.
Right.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about it, guys, is we've spoken of this stuff. These are the things we've talked about over the years to gain a full understanding, because the world is changing and we need to know what is actually taking place. Okay, so we're gonna go over I got a lot of heavy stuff for you guys today. I didn't know what to leave out, but I can promise you right now, guys, out of all the stuff we're gonna go over, you're only getting 30% of what I've come across. I tried to put it together to tell a story. I'm going to there's going to be a couple segments in here I'm going to hit you guys with. You're going to question, like I said, because you got to remember, your world is changing. Everything you thought you knew is about to be completely different. Now, these are the discussions we've had over the last 6 years. Embrace the change. Things are happening, okay? It's not all about money. It's about freedom. It's about sovereignty. They're tearing down an old system that has enslaved people around the world for almost since, I know for the United States, since 1871. Okay, but it's been longer than that across Europe. It's one of the things that led into World War I and World War II. Okay, remember, all wars are banking wars. One wants new power, another one doesn't want to give up power. Okay, so these are the things that are taking place. So as we see moves, we should get to a point. I'm never going to tell you what you have to do. We should get to a point where we start asking questions. Why is this happening? What does this mean for me and to me? How is this going to change my life? That's the question, because if you really think about it, everybody's running around here only concerned with one thing, themselves.
Hey, Will.
Okay. Yo, sir.
How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored, my man. How about you?
The same, thank you. Since we're talking about the banks,
Yeah.
let's say you have like $21,000 in the bank,
Mm-hmm.
and the banks are supposed to crash or they all just take your money.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we take our $21,000 to keep it, quote unquote, safe, but still have a little bit in the bank, like say $3,000?
Okay.
Should we put the rest of the money to keep it safe, or just leave the 21 in there?
Okay. So if you know that the banks are about to crash, let's start there. Mm-hmm. and you have the ability of making a move, why would you not have been having some of that money moved already? Let's start there. That's the first question. And you don't need to answer it, okay? That's just a general question I'm asking. We've been talking about this for 6 years to prepare. You have glint. So if you're saying, well, I want to move it somewhere where I have complete access to it and I don't really have to, crypto's not moving as much as you want. Have you really paid attention to gold and silver? Because if I'm not mistaken, 5 months ago, gold itself, I think at the max might have been trading at 2,200. It is pushing 5,000 right now. So think about how much of a gain you would have picked up within this last 5 months. Okay? You can also, just on Glint, you can also buy silver. But the thing about it is it's readily available to spend. Okay? So now what you're doing is you're hedging your money against inflation, because inflation is going to eat away the money you got sitting in the bank. This is a good question, and I'm talking to everybody. Guys, if you know that the money is changing, why are you waiting till the last minute to make a move? Okay, there's a video I was playing at the earlier part, at the beginning. Guy turned around and he said, the thing that people have a problem with is belief. You just don't believe that this is true. You're testing the waters to say, okay, well, I'll see. That's why I said, I don't know about you. A lot of people go to the fishing hole with a fishing pole. I'm going with the net and a stick of dynamite.
That's not fair.
I don't care.
I know.
No, I'm just saying, I don't care. You're not going to get this opportunity again where you're catching the change of the entire financial system globally. The way you handle money, the way money is transferred, the way you receive it, the way every aspect of it, how you think about it is about to change. It will get to a point where the average conversation will be like, man, I need to get my hands on some Satoshis. Everybody know what those are, right?
Bitcoin.
I need to know.
I have some of them.
No.
You got some of them, absolutely. That's the breakdown. That's the breakdown of Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if someone says, you know what, I need to get my hands on some drops. Anybody know what drops are?
Nope.
That's the breakdown of Ripple.
Drops.
Yeah, no, they're called drops. Because Ripple is a wave in the ocean, right? Or in the water.
Yeah.
So where
You guys, yeah. So when you turn around, that will be the normal. Like, guys, do you even understand the history of the word dollar, where it came from? I think I might have told you this before, not?
you have?
Okay. So everything is just made up, guys. Money is a construct as long as everybody in the social structure agrees, or at least the people who manage it agree that they will use whatever it is to settle debts. That is what becomes money. Money is just a construct. We've gotten to a point where we believe that it is something that really holds something, or that it's because that's the matrix. That's the matrix right there. If you can break away from the thought process that you have to do so many different things just to get this. Henry Ford created the 40-hour work week. Henry Ford did. He said, I need to get enough out of you, but I need to make sure that you don't have enough time to do something else, to invest in yourself. I need you tired enough that I only give you 48 hours to rest, because when you come back on Monday morning, I need you at your highest performance to work for me. I'm being real. He was instrumental in creating the education system. Him and Rockefeller, they created the education system. If I'm not mistaken, even Spelman College is named after his wife. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, the system has to change. The way we see things, everything has to change. And it starts up here. You cannot continuously run around in the same mindset and expect a different result. That is insanity. That is total insanity. So what are we willing to do? You know you deserve more. Are you willing to fight for it? That's the question. What are you willing to fight for? When it comes down to you and your life and you have an opportunity to make a change, are you willing to step out there and do what you need to do for yourself? Don't wait for anybody to do anything for you that you can do for yourself. Because I'm going to tell you now, if they do and you wait for them, it's coming with strings and you're not going to like what's attached. Okay? So let's keep on moving. I hope I answered your question, Alan.
Thank you, Will. You did.
My pleasure. Thank you. Okay, it says it's official. Democrats in full panic mode is 92%. Pay attention to this. 92% of Biden's orders terminated by emergency decree over illegal auto pen use. It's official. Trump just nullified 92% of Biden's executive orders, citing illegal auto pen use. Democrats in full panic mode. Emergency decree signed. Perjury charges are on the table. Okay? Trump nukes Biden's auto pen orders. This is interesting, guys. I'm going somewhere with this. I want you guys, there's a couple things that are going to tie up to this. Pay attention to this. Let's go.
I'm going to read you exactly what he posted. He said, quote, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. He says the auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States. He also says in that post, quote, I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally. He goes on to say in that post, Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process, and if he says he was, he'll be brought up on charges of perjury. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Of course, this was just posted moments ago to Truth Social. Again, the president, as we know, following him is at the golf course. So, of course, we're hoping to confirm and get any more information about this. Celicia.
Okay, so I wanted you guys to say, so think about it this way. Does this now explain why any time an executive order takes place, it's always in front of cameras, Trump signs it and holds it up? Everybody see where I'm going with this? He said, no, I did sign this. You saw me sign it. Okay? It's not one of these things, oh, executive order was just passed. You literally see him sign it. It is interesting to see this stuff play out, guys. That's defense, to be able to say, no, this is law. This is an order, this kind of thing. Because he came back and he's kicking all this other stuff out. This entire segment that we're talking about right now all touches on the SAR. Okay, so they're talking about taking down the government, restructuring it, coming back under sovereignty. We've talked about taxes over a period of time, okay? But in these next couple of things that I'm going to talk about and share with you guys, there's some things that are going on. Some of you might get excited about, okay? I'm just prefacing and getting you guys ready for this, okay? Because I got excited and I was like, I can't wait to put this in and share this stuff with you guys, okay? It says, breaking news. Chip Roy from Texas. Maybe it's time to dump all 435 in the House and all 100 in Senate and start from scratch because Congress is literally failing the American people. So we talked about it, right? Restructuring the government so that Congress might not be set up the way it is today. Remember, we're going back to constitutional law. Okay, so keep this in mind.
At some point, people will look at this body and say, maybe we should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over because Congress is literally failing the American people.
Now, pay attention to this. I just want you guys to hear this. So here we go.
Thing change that Trump just made was he issued an executive order stating that corporations could no longer buy single family houses. And he said this is going to lower the prices of houses for the people.
It is.
Okay.
And he said, no more taxes on purchase purchasing homes unless it's a brand new home, and no more taxes on purchasing the car unless it's a brand new car.
Oh my gosh. That's so good. That's exciting. It hints at NASARA, the National Economic Security and Reformation Act, that said we're going to do away with tax.
All right. And we've talked about this stuff, guys, and I know it's hard to conceptualize because it's different. But guys, these are the things that happen when change occurs, okay? Countries change, they resolve, the borders expand or contract or all this stuff, okay? So what you're used to, all the laws are about to be different. They're gonna be rewritten, okay? All judges are gonna be retrained. It's interesting, all right? I'm not done, okay? So so one of the things they talked about in Nasar Jassar was they said that all debt will be resolved, correct? You guys remember that conversation? I know somebody was asking me how that could possibly be. I need to know. You guys remember these conversations, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Hang on to your boots. Are you guys ready for this?
Is it coming
Look.
sooner?
No. Hey, Vance. Okay, they announced war on fraud. Listen to this.
They announced the war on fraud. What is the war on fraud? Fraud means, look, those mortgages that you had to deal with were fraud.
Yes.
Those insurance companies that you had to deal with were fraud because they were just taking your own credit and charging you each month for your own credit to build whatever you need to build if something went wrong. The IRS was fraud, right? Because you're not taxed on your own land. And even with these doctors and these hospitals, what they did to our people when we were born in those hospitals, it was fraud because what did they do? They suppressed our superpowers by putting vaccines into them babies.
Yep.
Those vaccines suppressed your superpowers.
And they cut off your umbilical cord,
Correct.
which connected you to your mother, your memory. Yeah, I heard people, some scientists say that when they cut off the umbilical cord, they were doing something that was unnatural because the cord's supposed to fall off on its own. But when they cut the cord, they cut the cord off. They saying all your past life memories have been cut off. Your memory for or your thoughts for why you came in this carnation, your mission and your vision, you just get disconnected from all of that. I thought,
correct.
oh my God.
I'm not done. We're going to still talk about fraud. I just want you to hear it because the word's getting out. You guys got to hear this stuff.
Iranian hackers just said that they're going to hack the credit bureau and wipe everyone's credit card debt and give everyone an 800 credit score. Do it. I bet you won't. Do it. I'm double dog daring ya. Do it. Dare.
Well, dog dare ya.
Everybody see where I'm going. Like I said, I'm not done.
Hackers in Iran allegedly threatening to hack into like the top 3 credit score companies and erasing Americans' debt to like stick it to us. Who are they threatening with this? Who is this a threat to? If this is real, and who would we need to speak to speed this process up? Because I don't see how wiping Americans' debt would be a threat. Is this a threat to our government? Would this hurt our government for all of us to have great credit scores all of a sudden? I mean, the things I could do with a good credit score. And honestly, I don't have to do anything at all. Just imagining the possibilities. But I'm just so baffled by them using the term like threatening America to hack into the 3 major credit score companies to wipe Americans' credit clean. As if that wouldn't make everyone's day, if not year, if not decade. Hackers in
Everybody see where I'm going with this, okay? Anything is possible. Now, keep in mind, with all the stuff that's going on, maybe this might be the play because you got to remember, it's a breakdown between the banking system, okay? It's the banks. That's what they're, guys, it has nothing to do with you. All wars are banking wars. So you got the Rothschild banking system, which has controlled everybody for centuries. Okay, we're talking about 1600s. I mean, when Napoleon, what was he fighting? Was he in the 1600s? Okay, so the Napoleonic War, they actually financed both sides of that war. Did you guys even know that?
No.
Yeah, they financed both sides of the war, and then they decided on who they wanted to win. This is interesting to see this all. So all wars are banking wars. So that's what they're doing. So who's to sit up and say that the reason why, and I got a lot we're going to go into when we talk about war. I got a segment on there, some things I want you guys to hear about that. So I know I got 50 million thoughts going on in my head, but like I said, I'm excited because these are the things we need to know. Okay. So the next thing I got for you guys, I want you guys to hear this.
Down, the sell-off in AI and private equity and private credit is hurting the banks. You saw Blue Owl, which is another one.
Yes.
And what's interesting is all of these companies, Daniela, something we'll break here as kind of a scoop, have access to insurance companies. And guess what they've been doing? They've been putting all this mortgage-related crapola inside the insurance companies. And then guess what? They turn around and borrow from the federal home loan banks because the insurance companies are allowed to be members. So there's another story that we're going to be unraveling here in the next few months of how Wall Street has done another AIG. They put alpha, they put risk inside of a sector which really isn't supposed to have risk. And these insurance companies provide annuities to retirees. So this is going to be quite a mess when it really unfolds.
Wait. Are they using the insurance companies as a loophole and they're all into it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They studied Warren Buffett. Warren was the first to buy an insurer and use that as his balance sheet. And then Apollo did this when they acquired a company called Athene. Athene was public for a while, and then they brought it in-house. They actually merged their manager with the insurance company, and they provide annuities to retirees, much of which they domicile offshore. So U.S. regulators can't get access to it. This is going to be an amazing story. I think this could be one of the biggest busts we've ever seen on Wall Street.
Wow, wait. Which segment of the population feels it most? Is it the retirees, Chris?
Yes. Yeah. People who bought annuities, who thought they were safe, and now, they stand the risk of taking significant losses. There was a company up in Connecticut called PHL, which also is in this business, bought a lot of junk assets, bought a lot of private credit. They failed. The state of Connecticut insurance regulators tried to sell it. They couldn't get any bidders, so they're liquidating the company now. That's kind of a model for what we're going to see in other areas. And I think, the other part of this that's of concern is that many of these managers are public. So you see Blue Owl, they have a public stock. And what that means is that they're going to feel the same liquidity risk, the same flight that other public companies, KKR, for example, their mortgage REIT had to take some lumps this week when they reported earnings down. They had to cut their dividend, yada, yada. So you're going to see this tale of woe coming out of this sector. And I think it's unfortunately going to be the dominant theme this year, whereas last year was completely crazy. Last year was crypto and AI, and even the banks were running double-digit rates of return, which is not normal, obviously.
Okay, I wanted you guys to see that because there are so many things that are taking place that we have to make this stuff make sense. All right. Now, they're talking about, we've heard about the golden age, right? So it says here, May 17th, rededication event is called our National Jubilee. Biblical Jubilee is the time when the captives are freed and the debts are canceled. Keep that in mind, guys. Anything is possible. So you can't shoot anything down saying it's not logical. It's not going to happen. Anything. We just talked about them recycling the debt or getting rid of all debt. That's part of Nassar Jassar. Our debts are invalid. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we see this stuff play out. And I'm just going to put it right here. Just so you say, rededication event on May 17th, a major event titled Rededicate 250. Remember 250, July, we celebrating a 250 year anniversary. Okay, it's planned at the National Mall in Washington, D.C., where President Donald Trump announced Americans will gather to rededicate the United States as one nation under God. The announcement was made during the 74th National Prayer Breakfast on February 5th. Purpose and context, this National Jubilee of Prayer, Praise, and Thanksgiving is part of a broader commemoration of America's 250th anniversary. The event aims to emphasize the nation's religious roots, encourage nationwide prayer, and reaffirm faith as foundational to American identity. The administration has promoted it as a unifying moment to restore morale and spiritual values. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Any questions? Any comments? I know I hit you with some heavy stuff there. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Nobody got anything to say? They talking about canceling your debts?
I'm waiting.
That's what we're
Everybody
looking
keeps
forward
talking
to.
about it, but do it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to. Where
It happen right now.
I wonder would that
Well, see-
include loans also.
Yeah. And then that's the whole thing. We're going into an age where money's going to be overly flowing, guys. And I'm not just trying to be funny. I mean, think about it this way. Money's going to be moving at the speed of light, and no one will be able to control it. Okay? If you did it right and you have it processed appropriately in your wallet or whatever the case, no one will be able to take your funds from you. Okay? Because you have it, if you did it right, you have it stored appropriately. You have it on hard wallets, whatever the case may be. Okay, cold wallets or what, you have it off into your personal possession and is secured through your seed phrase. Okay, now you'll be able to transfer from in and out of it, but if you have it on a centralized exchange, start moving your stuff now. Okay, because the centralized exchanges, they've already passed the law that governments, if your stuff has been sitting on a centralized exchange for I think it's over a 3-year period and hasn't moved at all, they have the right to take it because they're labeling it as abandoned. This is Coinbase. This is Gemini. This is Kraken. I mean, seriously, these are laws that they're passing. So these are their loopholes.
wow.
Okay, that's why I told you, if you can, get your stuff off of exchanges. If it's of any value, get it into a cold wallet where you control the private seed phrase, the words. Okay? Well, we've had these conversations. All right, so do not be surprised if things change for you, but it might not be in the direction that you want it. I'm just being honest. Okay? Change is hard for a lot of people. Do what you can with what you got while you can do it. And if you believe in what you're doing, hold tight to your guns because it is coming. This is Holocaust Perspectives Worldly Financial News Report for the week of March 8th, 2026. Strive to be the best you can be in each and every situation. Leave the result as it is because it's the result. And find a way to raise your vibration so high. The matrix glitches, lights flicker, and stagnant, dormant, and negative energies all transmute just because you stepped into the room. With that, you guys have a beautiful evening, and I'll see each and every one of you over the top.
All right now.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Thank you so much, William.
Hey,
Thanks a
Mom.
lot.